All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, but I'm better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications because we're giving you new videos, new content every single day between 4 and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss all this great educational content that we got coming out. All right. And then also download MG the Mortgage Guy show wherever you listen to podcasts at Spotify, Apple, wherever. All right. Tukes and I and the whole team here at Garland Media, we are filming so much content that we are letting the audio release way before we put it out here on YouTube. So some of these videos, we probably filmed them 2 weeks ago. But if you're on the audio, you're going to hear them within 48 hours after we film it. Consider it like a free Patreon. All right. So today's topic, I got a book. Let me bring the book out. And it's called House Hackonomics, How to House Hack Your Way to Wealth. You can go to mgbookstore.com to purchase this book. It teaches you all the good fundamentals about house hacking. This is a quick, easy read. It's about 100 pages. Amazing book. And we speak about house hacking all the time. And we talk about the 4-3-2-1 strategy. And this is something I came up with years ago to my clients before I actually started talking about it in the general public. But there's a key rule, especially when you're using FHA loans. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is because over the past, I would say 30 days, we've had so many issues with people who are buying 3 and 4 family or triplex or quads, like some of you call it around the country, properties that don't meet the FHA self-sufficiency test. And when we speak to them, most buyers never even heard of the FHA self-sufficiency test. So I said, okay, let me create a piece of content that can kind of live forever. And the FHA self-sufficiency test is one of those rules. It's like the golden rule of multi-family buying. And this is when I speak to you guys all the time. I tell you have to learn how to analyze deals. Even if you are using an FHA loan, you have to learn how to analyze these deals properly. So that way, you know you're making the right decision, number one, and you know you're going to be able to get funding because that's most important because you ain't paying no cash. So if you need funding, you got to learn the rules of funding. All right. So let's talk about the FHA self-sufficiency test, Tukes. Let's bring it up on the screen for the people. Make sure you guys, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe this video. And you guys see the FHA self-sufficiency test in the comments. In the comments, if you see it, please put a gem in the chat or a fire emoji in the chat. If you see it, like the chat, comment up, please. Thank you very much. All right. So the FHA self-sufficiency test is only for 3 and 4 unit properties. Now, this is a very important step that you guys need to take if you're going out there trying to get financing from FHA for your triplex and your quads. Now, the first step is you got to calculate the monthly payment on the new loan. So the monthly payment is going to include your principal, your interest, your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, the FHA MIP. Some of you know it better as PMI, but MIP is for FHA, and HOA dues, if there are any. 9 times out of 10 in a multifamily, there's not going to be HOAs, but you never know. So make sure you're asking the question. Just don't assume. Now, once you have that mortgage payment, the full mortgage payment, step 2 is determine the net monthly rental income. Now, we're going to either use the appraiser's estimate of the market value of all units, including the owner's unit, right? So it's not just using the rental from, let's just say it's a 4 family and you're only using 3 of the rents. No, you have to include the unit that you're going to live in too, right? So we're either going to use the less of the two, either the appraiser's estimate or the lease, what they're currently getting. So if your leases are saying $1,000 each a month, but the appraiser comes back and says it's $750 a month, then we're using the $750. All right. Now, once you have that number, you have to less that by 25%, which is the vacancy factor. So again, easy. I'm gonna just do an easy number. If it's $1,000 gross rent minus 25%, that's $750. That is the net rent that we're gonna use for step 2. Okay. Okay. Now step 3 is the monthly mortgage payment divided by the monthly net rental income cannot exceed 100%. If the results indicate a percentage greater than 100% or negative cash flow, the mortgage loan amount must be reduced. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Let me break that down a little bit further for those of you who are probably saying, what does that mean? Here's a self-sufficiency example for you guys, and I wanted to bring these slides up here to give you guys this visual, all right? So let's just say, for example, the total monthly payment is $4,500. You divide that by the net rental income, which is $4,501. Ask yourself, is this property self-sufficient? Is this property self-sufficient? Now remember, for the property to be self-sufficient, after the net rental income, you must be positive on your cash flow. So if the loan amount is $4,500, I mean, not the loan amount, the loan payment is $4,500, that net rental income has to exceed $4,500. So if it's $4,501, then this property is self-sufficient. All right. If it was $4,499, then the property wouldn't be self-sufficient, and then you have to reduce the loan amount by such to make the payment $4,499 or lower. All right. So always remember, guys, it has to be a positive after your net rental income. Let's go to the next slide. I'll give you another example. So the total monthly payment is $3,000. Divide that by the net rental income of $2,750. Is this property self-sufficient? Type yes in chat or no in chat. Is this property self-sufficient? I'm gonna give y'all a second to answer that question. Do 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 do. We got sound effects, Tooks.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Next time we're gonna have sound effects for you. Okay. So, if you answered no, then you are correct. This property is not self-sufficient. All right. This is a very important. Now, let's go back to the first slide because I want people to see this again. The calculation of this. Again, take a screenshot of this if you need this. Take a screenshot so that way you have this formula. And this is very important. We just moved my ugly ass face out the way so that way you can get a full screenshot of this right now. Okay. Remember, monthly payment. You need to know what that is. You need to know what the gross monthly rental income is. And now when you're doing gross monthly rental income calculations, guys, do not use some fictitious number that you could possibly get. Don't use a number that is just not realistic. You can't use Airbnb numbers either. You can only use long-term market rent. Because remember, it doesn't matter in the beginning of the process if you tell your loan officer that, hey, the rent is going to bring in $10,000 a month, right? And you're using it to get past go so you can go into underwriting. The underwriter gets that application and they get that appraiser, and that appraiser is not collaborating with what's on the application. The underwriter is always going to use the appraisal numbers. So don't overestimate your numbers. I would rather you be a little bit conservative. Now, you can take this off because hopefully you guys screenshotted this information. And if not, you could just rewind this video and come back and watch it again. We're going to be done with the slides. All right. So I'm saying all this to say to you, understanding the FHA self-sufficiency test is your key to success when you're trying to house hack, when you're trying to use FHA financing, and when you have interest rates that are much higher now than they were a couple years ago. There have been a lot of issues lately with homes being self-sufficient. and deals have died and people have wasted their money on home inspections and things like that because they did not run the self-sufficiency test in the beginning. So I need you guys to really understand that formula. Remember, it's your principal, interest, taxes and insurance, MIP, total monthly payment. Divide that by the net rental income, right? Remember, gross minus 25% for the vacancy factor. And we're using that number, which is basically 75% of the gross rental income is what the lenders will use, right? We use that gross number, and you have to include the owner-occupied unit as well in this calculation. And then you do your numbers, and if it passes that self-sufficiency test, congratulations. You're one step further to getting approved for your FHA financing. But now I'm going to tell you this. Just because it passed the FHA self-sufficiency test doesn't make it a good deal. So you have to really learn how to evaluate and analyze multifamily properties at the same time too, to determine if it's going to cash flow for you the proper way for it to make it a sound future investment for yourself. All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to my team. You guys can, if you want to work with us, you can go to applywithmg.com, or you can just email us at garlandgroup@unmb.com. garlandgroup@unmb.com, and we'll put that in the description of the video as well. And when you do email, just make sure you make the subject YouTube, so that way because we filter for that daily, because we want to make sure we answer your questions. All right. So I hope you got value from this video. Again, make sure you guys go pick up my #1 best-selling first book. Okay. House Hackonomics, How to House Hack Your Way to Wealth. You could go to mgbookstore.com and pick up the book and pick up whatever bundles. And again, if you want to work with us, the information will be in the description of the video. And make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and share this with anybody you know who's trying to house hack, because once you learn this formula, you're going to make your life a lot easier. All right. So this is Matt Garland, NMLS number 58700, but better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. Peace.